What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as Fan85. Welcome to a bit of a ramble video, to be honest. It's about 12:30. I got a fan going overhead, so you're probably going to hear some air in the mic. This is just going to be, I wanted it to be a quickie, but this will just be a random vlog, but I'm not going to put a thumbnail on it. There's been a lot that's happened the last few days. I've been kind of MIA. The streams were pretty much cut short last week because of work. I pulled about a 60-hour work week. It was crazy. Along with that, in my personal life, I had an epiphany that just rocked my world. In a pretty bittersweet way, but we'll get to that in a minute. We may be here for a little bit, so if you're watching this as a video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Forgive how everything looks right now. Again, it's been a long week, but I wanted to do a video log and talk a little bit about it because it's a little therapeutic for me. So I did laundry. As you can see, I had to wash my bed sheets, and laundry is back there behind me, so I finally got that done. I've been meaning to do that all week. But so here's the dealio, right? The epiphany. I reconnected with an old friend of mine, and it's actually an old ex-girlfriend as well as a really good friend. And I got hit like a Mack truck. We talked on Skype for about 6 hours one night, combined 6 hours. There's a bit of a time gap in there, but this girl lit up my life that night. It's been a while since I felt that, and I forgot how much power this girl had in my life. And she doesn't abuse that. She's not one of those girls to just, like, you know, pop in and sap energy from me. No, this was an energy that gave. And I think it actually took from her to give to me. It's one of those energy transfers, laughing left and right, just feeling really good about each other. And I think, to be honest, I've been pretty starved because of, in ways, lack of intellectual conversation, a really deep caring of somebody that's known me for a long time outside of family. You know, because family is family, but if you have a long-time friend that you've known for years, and this girl is, I'm not going to give any names, at least not right now. I might later in life, but you know it. You know, you feel that. You feel that absence, and I think I had that for a while. It sat with me, and apparently feelings did too. I think I realized, and is unrequited the right word? It's honestly, it's kind of like a book. My life goes like that from time to time. I mean, all of our lives do. But this felt like it was so sudden. It was so sudden, this realization. And it built for 2 days straight. It took me through a whirlwind. It even made things awkward between me and her for a while. At least it did to me. You know, it felt. I kept wanting to text her and talk to her on Skype. I was honestly borderline obsessed. But she's an awesome chick. She understood. I told her straight up. I said, I need to kind of bring myself away for a bit because I still have feelings for you, and really, really strong feelings. Because the energy that she brought to my life, you know. Now here's the bittersweet part about it. Nothing could ever happen. There's a lot of factors at play. We're really good friends, but that's all it needs to be, you know. And for the last 48 hours, for the last couple of days, at the tail end of all this, I'm finally getting back to a stage where I'm solid again, ish. You know, I've I feel like I'm in a bit of a withdrawal, you know. I mean, look, the only way I can explain it is that these feelings, I did not expect them at all. I just didn't expect them, and they hit me hard. I mean, just bam. And wow, I gotta say, it was a hell of a ride. It felt like a relationship, but there was no relationship. There was nothing there, and yet I felt like I got broke up with, because I knew, I knew the reality of the situation. I knew that nothing could come of it, because we're past that. We're just friends now, and it's just such a hell of a thing. I don't know if anybody's ever been through that, but a word of advice. Hopefully, the person on the other end of your situation, of this situation, is understanding, is compassionate to what's happening. Because if not, and if you reacted the way I did, honestly, you might lose a friend. Because it was something that was just, I didn't know how to deal. And don't get me wrong, I didn't do anything like really creepy or anything like that. It was just, I kind of got a little overbearing. And I kept just wanting to talk to her. I texted her probably 10, 12 times a day for like 3 days straight. I just couldn't quit her. Just like I put it to her, it's like, you're like an addiction in my life right now. But again, I didn't take it to a creepy level. There wasn't like, I need you and all this and that. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to talk to my friend, but on a very substantial level. I kept wanting to feed that connection. I kept wanting to be a part of what she had going on, you know. It was just weird. It was just weird, and it hit me so hard to realize that I still have those feelings. That there was even one night I cried. Like, I literally cried the night before the Skype call I told you about earlier, because we had talked a little bit via text, and she told me about some of the hardships she's been through recently, especially with relationships and family and life, this whole Corona thing. And that was the night we really kind of reconnected. And then the next day, of course, the Skype call happened, and then it was all a befuddled mess from there, for me. And it was just weird. It was weird. But again, I was on this emotional roller coaster for about 4 or 5 days straight. Didn't know how to handle it. Didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the hell was happening. I want to say it was love. I don't, honestly, I don't know. It might have been remnants of a past love. She was definitely a big part of my past love life. And I'm not going to give any details, but if life had gone different, let's just say she was really special. And that might be the other factor in it as well, because the way the relationship, we're still friends today, but the way the relationship ended, it could have gone better. So that may be a factor in it as well. I think the way things ended between us, I think it could have gone a little bit better. And that may be a little bit of regret on my part. And another factor in all of this, aside from wanting to talk to her endlessly, was it might have been a bit of regret and maybe wanting to try to make up for that. So there was a lot at play here. There was a lot going on. But I've taken time Oh wait, we talked today, and I told her I'm gonna take some time to myself, figure this out. I'm sorry things got weird, and again, she's really cool about everything. She's still talking to me, so like that counts for a lot. Um, but it's just crazy. It's just one of those situations in life to where it's just like, wow, that happened. um, but I'm blessed to have such a good friend in my life. We've stayed in contact off and on over the years, and it's just been a crazy ride the last few days. On the subject of work got nuts. Like I said, I worked close to a 60-hour work week. We had a lot of stuff happening. It was a lot of answering phones, a lot of everything over the phone. It was a lot of phone calls, stuff I normally do in person, but because we're on lockdown, on the stay home, stay safe policy, everything happened through the phone or online or via email. So there was a lot going on that part. And it was a long week. It's a long week. I'm on my first day off. I have 3 days off this week. I have 2 more days after this. And it's been crazy. It has been a crazy, crazy roller coaster, emotionally, physically. But, a note from everything that happened with what the majority I've been talking about with this whole emotional roller coaster. This whole thing did jumpstart my heart. Because I've been in a bit of a way the last couple of years to where I just want to date. I just want to have fun, which I still do. But what it does tell me, because I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. During the course of this whole thing, I went to such measures mentally when it came to reconnecting with this girl. And again, I can't explain it. I can only tell you what happened and what I went through. But I started thinking, I was like, if something were to happen between me and her, I could see myself remarrying. I could see myself wanting kids. Now, I know, again, that may be a bit extreme, but you got to understand, again, this is a girl I've known for a long time. This isn't just some girl that I just met. It's somebody I did just reconnect with, but there is a history there. So I don't think it's a totally unfounded, thought of what could happen. So I wasn't like jumping ahead or anything, because again, I knew deep down nothing could ever happen. But you always entertain those thoughts. And I'd be driving around, I'd see couples, I'd see a mother with their kid. I think to myself, when it came to this girl, I could do that. That's how special she is. But then it got me thinking, if I'm able to do that with this girl, there's still a part of me that is possibly willing to do that at some point for the right girl. Because I'll be honest, after the divorce, after everything that happened, after all the pain I went through, after everything I suffered through, I didn't want it again. I don't want no part of it. It's not worth it. It's too much of a gamble. Because that's how I'm seeing things nowadays. Marriages, relationships, friendships, everything. It can all be a gamble. Because you gamble with your heart. You gamble with your investment in those people. And it is an emotional investment. It is a time investment. It is a trust investment. And if you're the kind of person I am, when you were younger, you had all the world to give. But as you got older and things happened and you saw the darkness in people, you started to realize that there are a few people in this world that are not worthy of your trust or commitment. A lot of people are, to me, but there are a few people out there that are not worth certain levels of your trust or commitment. You can keep them reserved at one level, but there are a few people that really can't climb any higher. If that makes sense. It's hard to explain, to be honest. But again, as you get older, it's just it takes somebody really special. And this, it feels like, in a way, that this whole situation, this girl, kind of unlocked that part of my heart again. I'm still in the beginning stages, okay? I've realized that that's still there. If it'll ever happen, I don't know. I really don't. I'm not looking for it. I'm not where I was before the marriage, because before my first marriage, I was so hopelessly romantic. And but that's life. That happens, I think, especially with people like with me that always wear their heart on their sleeve. And but nowadays I'm a bit more reserved with stuff like that. If I'm being honest, the marriage did change me in that way, as it probably should have, But there is still a depth to me, which I'm proud of. I still have depth in that regard. But I've got it in reserve, because I want, if it does happen again, for that person, for it to only be theirs. Marriage, I don't know, but definitely love. If I ever fall in love again, I want it to be that person. I want it to be my lovers. I want it to be the person that I'm taking a gamble on, as it were. Somebody that has a very, very good numbers on a very awesome payout for me and them. But it feels good. It feels good to have that realization. Again, it's such a bittersweet thing that happened the last few days. And it got me questioning, what do I want now? Where am I transitioning to? How is this going to affect my life from here on out? Will it grow? Will it, stay stagnant? I don't know. But the only thing I know is that as a human being, as a guy in his mid-30s, I am getting older. And weird things happen as you get older. You have realizations, you have epiphanies, you realize that you can't, the things you hope for don't normally work out that way. They might in some regard, but what you really hope for, past loves, past things that had happened, things that were, are more than likely not going to be things that are or will be again. They'll still be there. There'll still be remnants, but if you ever come across a remnant that's been long buried, and you're ever in the situation I was in, do your best to deal with it, because it'll railroad you, and it'll spin your world around. It rocked mine. Just been a hell of a thing. Anyway, this was a really long vlog, but I wanted to put this out there. I know I hadn't uploaded the video in a while. I'm going to try to get some sleep. But there were some on the front of well, I'll leave it for another video. I'll talk about the games I recently purchased, and I'll go into a few things and let you know what's going on with that. But this was just a personal vlog. So if you made it to the end of this 20-minute video, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I still have a special friend at the end of this, and that's what counts to me. But it was definitely a hell of a week here on April 6th, 2020. One of the stages of my life, one of the chapters in my life, still ongoing. Thankfully, it didn't come to an end. This chapter, not my life, but thankfully, this chapter with this person in my life didn't come to an end. But, oof, it was definitely a moment. Anyway, remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.